When thinking alone isn't enough. Have you ever spent hours, even weeks, just thinking about how to start, yet ended up doing nothing? We live in an age where people read a lot, listen a lot, but rarely act. The world today doesn't reward ideas, it rewards action. Ideas are potential, action is power. You can analyze 100 scenarios, but life only moves when you do. Everyone has dreams, but between the dreamer and the achiever, there's just one difference: they started. Not because they were sure of success, but because they believed that taking action is the first expression of faith. In today's video, Action Mindset 5.3.2 When Action Becomes True Power, we'll explore how a new way of thinking helps you overcome fear, escape the loop of overthinking, and turn inspiration into tangible results. Bullseye. If you're ready to step out of your comfort zone, hit subscribe and download your free ebook, Don't Wait for Opportunity, create it. This is your moment to start again, beginning with your mindset. Overthinking, the thief of opportunity. Have you ever realized that sometimes your thoughts are the very thing holding you back? We believe that thinking more makes us wiser, but in truth, it often steals our courage to start. Every time you ask yourself, am I good enough? What if I fail? What if people judge me? You take one step back from your dream. There's a hidden truth most people don't see. Overthinking is the most sophisticated form of procrastination. You don't say, I'm scared. You say, I'm preparing. You don't say, I'm anxious. You say, I want it to be perfect. Yet, you remain in the same place. Opportunity doesn't wait. The world won't pause until you're ready. While you hesitate, someone else acts, and they will reap the results you once dreamed of. Sarah, a 25-year-old woman, dreamed of becoming an interior designer. Every morning, she sat in front of her laptop, looking for inspiration, sketching ideas, writing plans, but for 2 years, she never took on a real project. She always thought, I'm not ready yet. Meanwhile, a friend of hers, less skilled, with no fancy tools, but full of courage, started a small design channel. A year later, that friend had dozens of clients and a stable income. Sarah's story isn't unique. It's the story of millions who are always preparing, but never truly starting. The truth is, overthinking is a thief of opportunity. It doesn't take away your talent, but it steals your time, your drive, and your belief in yourself. You can spend a year drawing perfect plans, but a single real step can change your life. One small move creates momentum, and that momentum can carry you farther than you ever imagined. So next time you feel not ready, remember, readiness isn't a feeling, it's a decision. Stop waiting until you're confident enough, skilled enough, or rich enough. Start with what you have. Clarity comes after action, never before it. Light bulb today's challenge. Write down one thing you've been thinking about all week but haven't done. Take one small action in the next 24 hours. That step could change your entire journey. Action is the true measure of capability. If you only imagine, you'll never truly know what you're capable of. Action is the most honest test of ability. There are things you only discover once you start doing them. You realize you're stronger than you thought, and your limits exist only to be challenged. Many people think, I need to be better before I start. But in truth, you can only get better by starting. When you act, you step out of the world of assumptions into the world of experience. And experience teaches you more than any book or course ever could. Look at the successful people around you. They're not less afraid than you. They simply know how to act, even when they're still afraid. A young entrepreneur once said, I'm not smarter than others. I just started a little earlier. That little earlier changed his entire life. In every field, learning, work, creativity, only action produces real results. Ideas may fill your notebook, but their true value lies in turning them into reality. Want to write a book? Write your first page. Want to learn English? Speak your first sentence. Want to start a business? Sell to your first customer. Those small steps are your personal ability test. You don't need to prove yourself to others, just to yourself, that you're moving forward. Some ask, what if I act and fail? The answer is, failure in action is still worth more than success in imagination. Because with every action, you don't just learn how to do, you learn how to rise. And that's your true ability. A person may know 100 theories, but without action, they stand still. Meanwhile, Someone who knows only one principle, but applies it daily, will go far. Action is the only way to turn potential into power. You don't need to be perfect to start, but you need to start to become perfect. So don't just listen, don't just think, act. Every step you take is proof that you believe in yourself. Seedling today's challenge. Choose one small thing you've been delaying and do it right after this video ends. Even 5 minutes of action can change your entire day. Discipline and momentum. The secret of the unstoppable. If action is the start of change, then discipline is the fuel that keeps you going. Anyone can start, but only those who maintain their rhythm of action each day ever reach the finish line. Discipline isn't self-punishment, it's a promise to yourself. A promise that even on imperfect days, you'll still move forward. There will be days you're tired, uninspired, unmotivated, but on those days, discipline acts on your behalf. Many believe motivation leads to action. In truth, consistent action creates real motivation. When you repeat an action long enough, your brain remembers the feeling of, "I did it," and that builds momentum, an invisible force that carries you forward. Imagine pushing a snowball. At first it's heavy, but the more you push, the easier it rolls and the bigger it gets. Small daily actions are that first push. You don't need to do a lot, you just need to stay consistent. Someone who writes 1 page a day will have a whole book after a year. Someone who exercises 10 minutes each morning will have a new body by year's end. Discipline doesn't kill creativity, it protects it from emotional fluctuations. When you've built the habit of action, you don't wait for inspiration. You know it comes once you begin. Remember, momentum is the secret weapon of those who never quit. Once the wheel starts rolling, it's hard to stop it. The more you act, the easier it becomes to act. The more you delay, the heavier it feels. The difference lies in the first step of each day. So don't wait for the right mood to work. Work to create the right mood. A lesson from professional athletes. They don't train because they're always motivated. They train because they've become disciplined people. And the beautiful truth is, discipline creates freedom. When you control yourself, you're free from laziness and procrastination. True freedom doesn't come from doing whatever you want. It comes from doing what you know you must. Seedling today's practice. Pick one action you can sustain daily, even just 5 minutes. Commit to doing it for the next 7 days. You'll feel momentum kicking in by day 3. The power of small but consistent steps. Have you ever wondered why so many people start strong, yet stop halfway? It's not because they lack ability, it's because they underestimate the power of small steps. Success doesn't come from one giant leap. It comes from hundreds of small, steady, repeated steps. Every small step you take, reading a page, sending an email, waking up 10 minutes earlier, creates cumulative change. The world doesn't change through one big decision, it changes through thousands of small choices made daily. The story of Kaizen, Japan's philosophy of continuous improvement, proves this truth. They don't seek instant perfection, they focus on improving 1% each day. 1 year later, that 1% becomes 37 times better. There's no greater miracle than the power of accumulation. Just like dripping water can pierce rock, power lies not in intensity, but in persistence. The problem is, modern people are used to speed. We crave instant results. When we don't see them, we lose heart and stop. But true success doesn't belong to the fastest, it belongs to those who outlast fleeting emotions. Remember, every action you take today is a brick in the house of your future. You don't need to see the whole staircase, just take the next step. Thomas Edison tried over 1,000 times before the light bulb worked. When asked why he didn't quit, he said, "I didn't fail 1.000 times. I just found 1.000 ways that didn't work." That's the spirit of small but consistent steps. One repeated action becomes a habit. A habit shapes your identity. And a new identity is the foundation of lasting change. When you act every day, no matter how small, you send a message to your brain, "I am someone who moves forward." Don't wait to become perfect to begin. Beginning is what brings you closer to perfection. Seedling small challenge today. Choose one 1% habit, read 1 page. Walk 5 minutes, or learn 5 new words. Keep it for 7 days. you'll see yourself evolving bit by bit. Self-belief, the root of all action. Every action, big or small, begins with belief. If you believe you can, you'll find a way. If you believe you can't, you'll find an excuse. Belief isn't something you're born with. It's built day by day, through action, through experience, and even through failure. Think back to the first time you achieved something you once thought impossible. Maybe it was a presentation, a project, or simply waking up early. That feeling is proof that you're capable of more than you think. Belief doesn't come from positive words, it comes from repeated actions. Each time you keep a promise to yourself, belief grows. Each time you finish even one small task, you reinforce the foundation of self-trust. But if you constantly break promises to yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow. I'll start when I have time," you slowly lose faith in yourself. And when belief fades, action becomes heavy, and procrastination turns into a habit. Change that today. Start with one thing you can actually do. Don't wait to believe before you act. Act first to build belief. Some say, "I'll be confident once I succeed." The truth is, you only succeed when you dare to be confident first. The story of Emily, the 35-year-old mom who studied English 15 minutes a day, isn't about ability, it's about persistent belief. She believed that if she didn't quit, little by little, she'd reshape her future. And she did. Belief isn't illusion, it's evidence built from real actions. Each day, find one small way to prove, "I can." It doesn't have to be big, just real. Belief is the flame within your heart, but action is the oxygen that keeps it burning. When you dare to act, you send a signal to the universe, "I'm ready for something greater." Seedling today's challenge. Write down 3 things you once thought were impossible, but you'll try again this week. Each time you complete one, record how it feels. You're proving to yourself, "I can." Inspirational action. Becoming a spark for others. One thing is certain. Time waits for no one. Every second that passes is a piece of your life that will never return. We often say, "I'll start when I'm ready." But the truth is, you'll never feel completely ready. Time doesn't care if you're anxious, tired, or afraid. It keeps moving. The issue isn't how much time you have, it's how you use it. Some people live 70 years but only truly live 7, repeating the same day thousands of times. And others, with just 1 year of consistent action, completely transform their lives. Which group you belong to is decided today. If you're waiting for the perfect moment, remember, it doesn't exist. Perfection is the trap that keeps you from ever starting. Look back. Every great thing began with one small first step. Steve Jobs didn't know the iPhone would change the world. He just started with the idea of a different phone. Elon Musk wasn't sure SpaceX would succeed, but he acted anyway, knowing he might fail. And you don't need to change the world. You just need to start changing yourself. Today, you can write down one idea, make one call, run 1 kilometer, read 1 page. It doesn't matter how small it is, what matters is it begins. Because the action you take today opens the door to tomorrow. And once you start, you'll realize, time isn't the enemy, it's the ally of those who act. Imagine looking back a year from now. What do you want to say to yourself? "I wish I had started," or "I'm glad I did." Glowing star, don't let someday steal your today. Start, even with just one small step. Because once you act, everything else begins to change. Speech balloon. If you're watching until this point, comment the keyword, action, to affirm your own commitment. Because winners aren't the strongest, they're the ones who start first. Time waits for no one. Start before it's too late. Have you ever realized that a single small action from you can completely change someone else's life? A short message of encouragement, a shared story, or simply the courage to begin. Sometimes that's the spark that ignites another person's journey. Action doesn't just move you forward, it creates a ripple effect. When you change, you silently teach others. If they can do it, so can I. Think of the people who have inspired you. They weren't perfect, they didn't have all the answers. But they acted, and that simple act made you believe you could too. You might not notice it, but someone out there is watching your steps. When you stay consistent, they learn persistence. When you fail and rise again, They learn courage. When you start despite fear, they learn how to overcome their own. This world needs more people brave enough to live their dreams. Because every positive action doesn't just change outcomes, it changes who you become. One of the most beautiful things about taking action is this: you never know how far it will spread. Someone miles away might see your story online and decide to start over because of you. Like a flame, you don't have to be the brightest light, just bright enough for someone else to find their way. And when you act, you don't just change yourself, you inspire the next generation, your children, your friends, even people you may never meet. Action is the strongest language of belief. You don't need grand speeches or deep philosophy, just start doing, and that alone makes a difference. So next time you hesitate, remember, someone out there might need to see you take action. Just so they can believe change is possible for them too. Be the one who lights the fire, not the one waiting for it. Your action today could be the beginning of someone else's extraordinary story. Begin again from your own mindset. Life doesn't reward those who only think, it rewards those who act. Every change, no matter how small, begins with one concrete step. Not with a long plan or sudden inspiration, but with that first move, trembling, imperfect, but real. Mindset is the source, but action is the current. You can read hundreds of books, listen to thousands of talks, but if you never stand up, it all remains just theory. The world doesn't need more thinkers, it needs more doers. People who dare to step out, to start before they're ready. Look back at your journey. Every time you acted, even a little, you got closer to your best self. And every time you delayed, you quietly stole a chance from your own future. So, begin again from your own mindset. But don't stop there. Let thought lead to decision, decision to action, and action to real transformation. The step you take today could be the turning point of your life. Don't let tomorrow become, "I wish I had." Let today become, "I'm glad I did." And if you're seeking a new start, remember, you're not alone. Thousands are beginning again from their own mindset. And you can be the next. Speech balloon. Leave a comment saying, "Action," below to remind yourself that today you started. And don't forget to subscribe to Different Mindset for new weekly videos and your free gift, book the ebook. Don't wait for opportunities. Create them. Start today, because no one else will live this life for you.